Yeah, do the clap.
No, wait, that was bad. F.
Welcome back to episode 3 of the new podcast, Theoretically, with Stuart Wilkins and Peyton Hutchins. Good evening, Peyton.
Good evening, Stuart.
So, coming back to you today.
Live with another. Yeah, okay.
What's up, guys? What's your other YouTube name? Minecraft.
Easy Minecraft Redstone.
Easy Minecraft Redstone. What's up, guys?
Welcome back to another.
Anyway, all right. So, this episode is
brought to you by no one
yet. So we are going to discuss a topic today that's kind of off the wall, but also very, very relatable to some people in this room. So, so we're going to talk about concussions, and just like all around, just kind of focus in on it a little bit. We're not biologists or neurologists.
No, but I have met one.
Peyton has met one, and
His name was Lamar.
I mean, Lamar.
Don't
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Tell him I said hey. So we're just going to talk about it and kind of again do some live research. Kind of look at it as a whole. Concussions.
Yeah, and I tell you, Stuart, I really have a lot of solutions to dealing with.
I would love to hear every
concussion.
one of them. But first, all right, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and start it off and talk about
What is a concussion?
what is a concussion?
Yeah.
Do you want to try to explain, or should I try to actually look up the proper definition?
Well, you can look up the proper definition while I just BS for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
So, as far as I'm aware, concussions are an actual, it's actual like brain trauma that messes with an actual part of your brain, any part of your brain that brings on weird symptoms. And it's neurological as much as it is physical.
Oh, so you're labeling a concussion as like anything neurological, like damage.
No. Probably no. I just mean like the things about concussions is like, it can range from just some mild, like some people say they have a concussion if they just like get a mild blow to the head, and it's like true, but a concussion can be, it's like a range of things. It's a lot of symptoms, and there's a lot of different levels of like how long it lasts. There's a lot that go into it, but basically it's just like an injury to the head.
Right. Okay. All right.
But that's just what I am aware of. So
Right.
Let's see.
So, actually, the first definition that comes up on Google, temporary unconsciousness or confusion caused by a blow on the head. And the second definition of violent shock, as from a heavy blow.
Yeah, I mean, that second one makes way more sense, though. Because temporary unconsciousness or confusing, like, no.
Right.
Not necessarily is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was doing some research earlier, and to kind of go a little more in depth with it.
Yeah, right here. A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go and click on that. This is on CDC.gov.
They don't lie. The CDC.
So actually, we can watch this little video. Cause a bump. Okay, so a concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury, basically what you said, caused by a bump, blow, or jolt to the head, or by a hit on the body that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth. The sudden movement can cause the brain to bounce around or twist in the skull, creating chemical changes in the brain and sometimes stretching and damaging brain cells. I wish I could look up. I watched a video earlier, And basically, you have your skull,
Mm-hmm.
and there's basically this gel around your brain.
Yeah.
It's called something membrane or something, I think. Anyway, it's basically like a cushion. It like protects your brain, and then it's your brain. But your brain is like one of the most, if not the most tender organ
Oh yeah.
in your body. So basically, what happens is that like your head gets hit so hard that like your brain goes through that cushion around it and hits your skull. And so basically, when your brain hits your skull, then it sends like the shock waves through your brain, and that's what starts to stretch or break those cells, those like neuro cells,
It's giving me a headache.
and nervous. Sorry, and the nervous like
your neurons.
yeah, the neurons like in your brain, and so this like it just screws them all up, and so basically that's what does it, and it's kind of like I guess you could call it like a bruise on your brain.
Yeah.
But it's like.
But it's your brain, so you're kind of effed if you bruise it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the kind of more in depth. I mean, I could probably find the proper terminology for all that, but
Yeah.
but anyway, that's basically what it is. And so, like, that's what causes like that such a bad headache and that like nausea and all that stuff, which we can look up. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, man. It's actually like a really common thing too. Concussions happen so often, particularly in sports, but like not even in sports. Like, like it's a thing that happens extremely commonly, and people just don't know about it. Which is actually good and bad because it kind of means that like it's it can be mild and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it can heal back in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But if it's bad enough, that's why I looked up, or I went and clicked on down severe brain injury, long-term effects from a concussion if it's bad enough. Thinking, memory, learning, coordination, and balance, speech, hearing or vision, emotions.
Yeah.
So basically anything that comes from this area is
messed up.
It can severely be messed up.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, and I can tell you, more about it, but what happened to me was a big thing. Was just
So I was just gonna say, now that we've kind of covered the base for people if they didn't know, more of like what a concussion is. Why don't you kind of elaborate on your experience with this great traumatic
brain injury?
I
know. I'm a victim, and this is my story.
Speak out, man.
Yeah.
Speak out. Don't hold it in.
I want a hashtag. No, but yeah, so like I don't know what year it was. It was a couple years ago now at this point.
Memory loss.
It's like that scene from The Office. Oh yeah.
Which scene?
When Dwight's trying to figure out who was smoking the marijuana.
I don't know that people. One.
Okay. So anyway.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. Like I want to say 2017 maybe. I get a concussion for the first time ever.
How?
Basketball workout in Greensboro with this guy big guy, played for Guilford College, and he was like wanting to go to Liberty or something to play. So it was like a D3 to D1 jump. So he was working out. I was working out with him. I wasn't playing basketball, seriously. You know what I mean?
You were just there for the workout.
Yeah, because I was just in the habit of it.
But he's trying to like make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's younger than me, but he's big. He's a big dude. And we're just
when you say big, how big is he? Is he like 6'3", 240?
He was probably like 6'1".
6'1".
6'1", 6'2", but like.
How much did he weigh?
Oh, dude. I mean, he was right around like probably like 190.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like a big guy,
Yeah. All
especially at the time. I mean, I'm like barely 6 foot and like 150.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, he elbows me. He comes over the top, boom, right in the head. Head goes back, whiplash, whatever. But we're in the drill, so I just finish the drill, and then I start to notice I have a headache. But when you're working out, having a headache is no like strange thing because you're using a lot of water, you get dehydrated. it's very common. Like, oh, okay, I'll just drink a lot of water on the way back home.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be fine by the time I go to bed. Well, that never happened. I didn't think much about it. The next day, I go and I work out at the Y, and then that evening, first of all, I'm driving back from the Y. I'm thinking, man, why is my head hurting so bad from this work? I was like, why? Like, it's weird, right? And I could see like a vein like popping here. I was like, what the heck? So that night, or later that afternoon, I go and I play basketball at like 90 degrees outside at my friend's house. To be roommate, actually. But yeah, we played basketball outside at 90 degrees, so I'm sweating there and everything too. I come up and I like throw up, and I was like, God, like, what the heck is going on? Like, why am I acting so weird? And then the next day was like Friday, and then I'm like, my head's still hurting. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. We go to the doctor, and they're just like, yeah, you probably had like a mild concussion, but like, just give it some time and rest, you'll be fine. I was like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So no screens, bro. Zero dark 30, shut it down, low light, because I'm light sensitive as piss at this point. All of Saturday, Sunday, we actually had a lake day with the church, and I was like, I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna like actually do anything on the lake. But even just the sun was so bright.
Was that there?
Dude, I don't know. I don't remember who was there. I don't think you were.
Probably not. I don't remember.
I think it was one where a lot of people missed.
I don't know.
That was the vibe.
I was probably working that day. Go ahead.
Probably. I know it's a bit of a long story, but like.
No, keep going. All right, so you go to the lake and the sun is killing you. You didn't even get on a boat, did you?
I did get on a boat, which was a bad idea. Because the waves. And I didn't think it'd be that bad. I'm like, whatever. But.
Oh, no, dude, those wakes.
Yeah. And I don't think I had sunglasses either.
God.
Taking the hit.
I don't struggle with headaches, and I can't go to the lake without.
Dude, no, you can't. No one should.
I cannot go to the lake without sunglasses.
Dude, you're under 20. Like, for sure, if you go to the lake without sunglasses. Because I'm telling you, like, there's an actual physical difference.
Like, the only time I take off my sunglasses is if I'm, like, tubing or wakeboarding. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm getting pulled, like, yeah, I'm taking them off. Like, that's just common sense.
Yeah.
But any other time, no.
It's terrible, man.
I can't. There's no way.
But, yeah, so to make a long, long story kind of short, I'll just say I tried my best to not make it worse, right? Because you get light sensitivity, impact, working out, all that stuff reinforces the symptoms. It doesn't make it help go away. But after the normal period, I was still having these symptoms, and I was like, what the heck's going on? So we go to all these doctors, and they're like, here's some vitamins, here's this, here's that. And what the neurologist told me, and they did an MRI, and they're like, yo, you're fine, your brain's good.
So you had an MRI on your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, you're not going to die. You know what I mean? Like, you could go work out. It's not going to kill you.
And they told you this after the MRI and everything?
Yeah. Like, look, you're fine.
Did you see your brain?
I didn't see the MRI at all.
Oh, you never got to see the MRI?
I don't know what it is. I just trust them. But,
I was just wondering, I mean, that'd be kind of cool to, like, that is my brain. Go ahead. No, sorry.
No, yeah, the neurologist we talked to was just kind of like, yeah. He's like, you just are the way you are. I was like, wait, like, what does that mean? And he was basically saying, so there's something called post-concussion syndrome, where after you have a concussion,
I'm listening.
Concussion symptoms exist for this person, basically indefinitely. They're saying, some people have it for a week after, some people have it for months after, some people have it for years after.
So at this point, they're saying that your concussion is done, but you are suffering from the post-concussion syndrome.
Yeah, so you still have the symptoms.
But you don't actually have the concussion.
Right. And so
is that from, like, the existing brain cell damage, do you think?
Dude, it could be. It could very well could be. I mean, the way I don't know the specifics of what's the catalyst for what, but I do know that what they basically said was your brain creates this like that link between the pain and or like that event and that pain. So when I got hit, my body goes, wow, feel this pain because you have a concussion, right? So now I have these symptoms because I have a concussion. But what happened was my brain the neuron ended up tricking itself into thinking anytime I get a blow to the head, I have a concussion.
Oh.
And so when similar things happen, and it could be...
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, a number of weird things. So, and no one ever believes you when you tell people that. Like, no one ever, they're like, yeah, right. But if you talk to people who have it, and I know like 3 people like offhand, I can refer you to. They're like, dude, do not touch my head. They're like, you don't understand, like, it hurts when you get hit in the head because your body, like, thinks you have a concussion. So, but obviously it took me about a year, legit, of straight having a headache.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you had it for like 12 months, right?
Yeah.
And some days were better than others.
And some people thought I was BSing. I'm like, dude, you don't want this.
So, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was that headache? Like, if you compare it to, like, a normal headache. Not when the concussion happened. After the concussion is healed and now you're dealing with the post-concussion.
Oh, dude. It ranged, bro. What happened was it would get down to, like, a 2.
Okay.
And I'd be like, oh, thank God. And then you would go work out or you'd go run or something. And it'd spike, and then it'd be up here at like a 6, and you're like,
did any kind of like drugs help?
Mm-mm.
No Tylenol, dude. No ibuprofen,
nothing.
Oh, they didn't give you anything?
There's not, dude.
Oh, because your brain's tricking itself.
Yeah, like, dude, like, this stuff doesn't work. Like, Excedrin doesn't work, Advil doesn't work. Maybe really, really hardcore stuff might. I don't know.
Well, this people ask for, what is the best treatment for post-concussion syndrome? Vision therapy, okay.
Yeah.
Rehab, okay. Well, neuro.
Dude, yeah. Trauma. Remember when I started doing this all the time? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because I went to therapy.
Oh, they told you to do that in therapy?
Yeah, physical therapy.
Why? What does that do? Oh, right there it is, physical therapy.
Yeah, so
cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive rehabilitation therapy. Wow. So basically just therapy. There's no drugs.
Dude, there's nothing. So this
right.
is how for me this is what worked out, because you can.
Why does that work? The thumb thing.
Yeah, well, there's 3.
For people just listening, he was holding his thumb in front of his face and moving it back and forth.
Yeah. Well, there was 3 things that we found out that helped, and just to answer that question though. Well, let me back up first. Let's get more specific. So, one thing that happened was after I got hit, I started clenching my jaw. Right? For some reason, like when I slept, I would clench really bad, and so the pain would rise up into here.
Oh,
from my jaw. So that was part of it. So we got a little splint to help with that, and that eased off some of the headache. And then I had these muscles back here, and we found this out in physical therapy. These muscles back here were getting tight and wrapping around nerves. And what happened was they'd actually go back there and, like, dude, in like your shoulder and into your back, they would find a spot and press it. And
with what?
Dude, anything.
Like
Finger, a needle.
Oh, okay.
A lot of needling, but anything really, if you find the right spot. And it would shoot up into my head. And I would feel like, oh, that's the pain. Like, that's the same pain that I'm feeling on, like, a day-to-day basis. And so they work it all out. And so what they do is they go in there and they just mash you up to get all this connection out. Basically, like, just, like, easing your muscles to say, like, look, relax. Like, you're not getting attacked. You know what I mean? Like, your brain is fine. And then... And that would help the headache, but then what would happen behind my eyes would hurt. And I remember asking, I was like, is it supposed to hurt? Because like, after so long, you forget what normal feels like. And I'm like, like behind my eyes supposed to hurt? And he was like, no. I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, so what this does, to answer your question, is to help with like your tracking of things. Like the blow kind of messes up your ability to,
See?
yeah, like track things the same.
Yeah.
And I remember what I would used to do is they had a little laser connected to like a headband.
Mm-hmm.
The laser would come out, and it was like close your eyes, and it was like you close your eyes, and they'd be like, okay, like move the laser like just a certain amount, and you just like you couldn't do it, like you would never know where the laser, like it was the weirdest thing. It threw off my ability to like track things.
So you would close your eyes and they would ask you to move the laser and you couldn't move the laser?
Yeah, or like you think you move it and you look up and it didn't move at all. And you're like, what the?
So there's like a laser pointer on your head pointing at a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And they would say like move it left. And you would think that you moved it left, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is crazy.
Or like just a minute amount. Like you think you moved like the fucking wall, and you're like whoa. And so we used to do balance things too, with your eyes closed and like walking in circles and stuff. Like,
well, I heard that's hard to do.
Oh yeah.
Period.
It is, but you have to but your brain naturally is trained to do it, and then for some reason you get jacked up.
Right.
You have to like retrain.
Well, I think that Mythbusters did an episode that was like walking and driving.
Yeah.
Blindfolded.
Yeah,
and like, dude, they didn't make it like 10 feet before they were like, not even 10 feet before they were like off track.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal because I understand where you're coming from, where you're saying like it messed it up. I get that. But even then we get so used to like having that sight to judge our distance and where we are and stuff. So like there's been a lot of pilots that fly into the ocean at night because you can't see.
Oh yeah, it just looks like the sky.
It just looks black.
Yeah.
So if you're basically if you're not using your instruments,
yeah,
if you're not trusting your instruments, or even if you are trusting your instruments, you're looking out of the window and everything is black. So just imagine like it's nothing. It's like you basically close your eyes. And so your brain is telling you, or flying through clouds is a big thing, like for pilots. So like you're flying through a cloud, everything's white. Your brain might be telling you, I'm going up, or I'm going down, or I feel like I'm flying left or flying right, but like you're not. But your brain, because it's off, because it can't judge the distance, it doesn't know. And so like that's the thing. If you're flying over the ocean at night, and you're for some reason you're not paying attention to your instruments, you might be going straight down, but you think that you're climbing because you can't see. Like you can't see at the horizon. You can't see the ground coming up or down. Mm-hmm. So like, and then like I said, like the Mythbusters thing, it's like they tried to drive a golf cart. And like they couldn't drive it straight.
Dude, you can't do anything straight blindfold. Like
no. That's what I'm saying. So like, not only is it hard to do pre-injury,
oh dude,
it just rocks your world up post-injury.
Dude, yeah, and that's the third thing was like just the neurological. Like we found out this and then the muscles and stuff, but then just your straight like neurological, like it just is the way it is. And that's what the neurologist was saying, like. Concussions affect everyone differently. Some people get them, they'd get over it in a day.
You just happen to be the lucky one.
Yeah, right. I think it's just like stupid people. It just hurts. Like you just have it longer. But it's like, it's crazy because it's like, they just said like you will feel this.
Deal with it
until it stops, and it might not. And I was like, wow, that's very helpful. But then like the physical therapy dude was just like, figuring it out, bro. He was like making connections and things. He's like, no, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. I had like a little tennis ball thing. Started out slow, built up, got my little freaking laser light to where I could go like in a circle
With your
around.
eyes closed?
Yeah. Well, I got better at like going. Yeah, dude, that's what it was. It's amazing how like you can jog your memory, like making it go like right, left, up, down with your eyes closed. Someone's watching it and he's like, "Yep, you're good, man. You're like figuring it out. You're like getting it. You know what I mean?" So, and then like going around in circles and stuff like.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Well, see, like, and see, the funny thing is that like, because you recently just hit your head again, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So I got better. Over time, I was like, finally, I could go work out again and it wouldn't hurt. But I found out if I hit my head, even like a little, like a slight, like someone just came up behind me and just went boom, jokingly, I would get a headache for like 24, 48 hours.
Oh,
And
that
so
sucks.
a couple of days ago, I hit my head playing basketball at work. And
Oh, that was at work.
yeah. And a guy hit me in the head coming across, boom. And I didn't think anything of it. Kept playing. Thought, yo, I'm fine because I had dealt with this in a long time. I get home and I'm like nauseous. I'm about to throw up. And I'm like, yo, like, I have the stomach bug. Like, I'm going to get sick, right? And then I put my head in my pillow and I closed my eyes. And I felt how dizzy I was. And I was like, that's a familiar feeling. I was like, oh my God.
Long time no see.
So then I woke up the next day, not feeling nauseous, but I had the headache. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So the head messed me up. And then today was 48 hours since that. That was 2 days ago. And I was feeling really good today. And again, I got hit in the head.
Okay, now how did that happen?
Playing basketball.
How are you playing basketball at work?
Dude, it's like the end of the day, like, after 5.
Where's the
Not
basketball
today,
court?
in the warehouse.
There's a basketball goal in the warehouse?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah, it's cool, but
That is cool.
but it was so annoying too because it's like, first of all, if you play basketball, don't hit people in the head. Like, it's not that hard to know where your elbows and stuff are. You know what I mean? It's not that difficult. I've given 0 people a concussion.
And you've played a bunch of basketball
Yeah,
games.
dude, a bunch. So, but anyways, this guy goes up and he doesn't have any control and he comes kind of down on my head. I was like, this is going to be a thing. So yeah, so
With this guy.
So I have a headache right now, actually.
Why don't you start wearing a helmet?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I'm just saying.
NFL does.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, like, NFL, backyard basketball.
Could you imagine just like
Pretty
chilling?
similar. Well, the point I was going to make is that, like, some NFL players can get, like, 5 concussions, and, dude, they're back in the game.
Dude, I don't
Like,
know how they do it.
they're back, man, and you're like, dude, this guy touched my head,
Dude, yeah.
and I'm out.
Dude, it's crazy because it's like a whole community of people. Dude, there's a whole community of people. Like, we know people, and I can tell you names
Yeah.
that have this sort of like weird post concussion issue.
Yeah.
Where just a little bit goes a long way. Like, it's really surprising. It's like,
I'm sure.
it's obnoxious, really.
Yeah. I was going to look up too. University of Pittsburgh Brain Trauma Research Center reports that 300,000 sports-related concussions occur annually in the U.S. Additionally, the likelihood of suffering a concussion while playing a contact sport is estimated to be as high as 19% per year of play. In other words, almost all athletes
Yeah. Yeah.
of contact. So, like, 19%, bro. That's a big percentage
Yeah.
if
It's a
you
huge
do
percentage.
America.
Dude, yeah, man. There's a kid that I coach who a couple years ago got a concussion. Same time I did.
Mm-hmm.
He got his second concussion. And we were kind of going through the same thing. I was just like, dude, is your head just like always hurt? He's like, dude, all the time. I was like, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
But
Well, see, like, okay, here's the thing. So, like, usually, which I don't know this, if you get, like, a second concussion,
it's supposed to get easier and easier.
would it be in the same spot?
I don't know.
Or-
I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how you get hit.
I mean, I guess as far, well, I don't know, man. When I say same spot, I mean, like, the part of your brain that like hits the skull. But I guess that just causes a shockwave, not necessarily that's the complete, because your whole head hurt. It's not like you said you got hit in this area, in the eye.
Yeah, I got smacked right between the eyes, dude.
Okay, but your whole head hurt.
Well, yeah, like right here mainly.
Oh, it was mainly in the front.
It's mainly like right here.
Okay.
And weird stuff, like on the side a lot, and it usually like it would pick one side or the other. Like one day it'd be like my right side hurt.
Isn't that amazing?
It's stupid because it's literally it's just your body just deciding today this is going to hurt. Nothing was wrong with me. There was nothing. There was no reason for pain receptors to be coming to my body. Nothing was wrong. But my body just decided, well, we think something's wrong. No, it's not.
That is crazy though, right? How your body can like
just decide, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
I don't know, man.
I got a bone to pick with my brain.
But which I mean, I know it's a hot topic, guys. It's like when you think of concussions, you think American football.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fair because that's probably where most happens. But like, dude, like concussions in American football, and not just NFL. I mean, to me, this is just me. You get a couple, anywhere from 6. I guess some are like 5'10" or so, but anywhere from 5'10" to like, I don't know, 6'9", 230-pound plus men running into each other. It's like, nah, no concussions can come from that.
Dude.
It's like you're just asking for it. Dude, but I don't care. Like, I understand, like, if you're big and tough and everything, I get it. Like, you built the muscle and everything. But I don't care how big or small you are. If you get smacked in the head, that's...
Dude, you can't build muscle
in
around
your head.
brain.
Yeah, no, you can't. So it's like...
It's all the same.
Everyone is screwed. I mean, it's... I don't know how they do it. Like what you're saying, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they get away with it. I think because it was kind of funny. We're like, I don't pay attention to NFL football.
Well, they added padding to the helmets at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, they have like, dude, it's crazy. They've got technology now. I think I saw somewhere where basically it's like the coach. Let's say you're an offensive coach. You have like a little pager or receiver clipped on your belt, and there is a wireless connection to your players' helmets, and if they get hit hard enough, that pager will go off and it'll say something along the lines of, this hit was enough to cause an injury, to cause a concussion. Because kind of like what you're saying, you might get a concussion in the middle of a football game, and then you're still going.
Yeah.
The adrenaline's pumping. You got to win the game. So now you're going to hit your head, I don't know, 30 more times.
Yeah. Like, dude, I never played football, but like, whose head's not hurting in a football game?
Yeah. I was going to see it. Helmet technology.
Like, unless you just get absolutely flattened and knocked out. Because that's the thing, is like, it's not just like you don't get unconscious every time you have a concussion. You can get a mild concussion where it just hits just right.
Called multi-directional impact protection system. Always used in many sports. Okay, that's probably just like the technology.
Dude, speaking of technology in sports, dude, they make basketballs that like can track where you shoot from, like how much you make and stuff.
They make basketballs that do that?
Yeah.
And it knows how many you've...
I think so. Pretty crazy.
That is pretty cool. Oh, wait. Let's see. No, those are like speakers. Coach to play. Okay, that's not... I was trying to see. Vic-01 looks a lot like helmets, but it's designed to soften the blows of heads of NFL players, scientists, neurosurgeons, and engineers. Designed helmet make clear it won't prevent concussions. Anyway, I saw it somewhere. they were working on a football helmet that basically it'll have like a wireless connection to the coach, so
That'd
that
be
way
cool.
if the hit is hard enough, it'll send a there it is, concussion sensor technology in football helmets. What is a concussion? All right, we've already been through this. We know PCS, post concussion syndrome. That's you.
Hi.
Football concussion myths. Okay. Cause of football concussions and who gets them. Okay, I get that. I want to see the helmet. Okay, here we go. Sensors. Well, this is a good point. Helmets can't prevent concussions. They are designed to prevent traumatic injuries like skull fractures. Unfortunately, helmets may give players a false sense of security, and some players have inappropriately misused their helmets as weapons during games, putting themselves at higher risk for concussion. Researchers are looking for ways to make helmets safer for players. All right.
Or you just think about it like anything else. Like if you have people in a car, okay, and you wrap the car in like bed sheets, and you apply a bunch of force to the car, the bed sheet is going to keep the paint on the car from getting chipped or whatever. But it's not going to stop. It's a bed sheet, but I meant like a mattress, right? It's not going to stop the people in the car from getting shook around.
Exactly. Right.
Like it doesn't.
Right. But anyway, so basically it's called the, how do you say that? VICIS 01?
Yeah.
VICIS?
VICIS
01. Yeah.
It's kind of cool, though.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty sweet.
I mean, it's not really going to help much. I mean, I guess it will help, but...
Well, it'll help as far as, it'll give that
through.
alert and you can pull them out of the game. Because, like I said, I mean, I understand this will be for, NFL players, but, you got to think of the high school kids, too.
It'd be better for high school kids, honestly.
Yeah.
Because football players...
Well, middle school, man. I mean, here's the thing. Because middle school is such a weird time because you've got, Timmy over here. He's
yeah.
He hasn't hit his growth spurt. He's in 7th or 8th grade. He hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. He's just started puberty. Whereas you got, Johnny over here. He's already grown a beard. And, so little Timmy over here, he's like 100 and, I don't know, 40 pounds or something. And you got Johnny over here. He's growing a beard. He's 180. Okay. But, they're the same age and they're going against each other. So if Johnny smacks Timmy real good, then Timmy's out, bro. I mean, it's that could mess little Timmy up for the rest of his life.
That's true.
Yeah,
dude. I knew a kid who wrestled. I was in 9th grade. He was in an 8th, I think. And homeboy was yoked.
How old was he?
He was in 8th grade.
He was big.
Dude, he was it was ridiculous.
There's some big 8th graders, dude. I'm telling you.
Freaking ridiculous, bro.
They make me look like I'm in middle school.
Yeah.
Athletes would define and practice. Overall, high school athletes experience concussions at a rate of 4.17 per 10,000 exposures.
Yeah, dude. No, I had to do a whole course on concussions and stuff.
Yeah, how was that? Because you are for people who don't know, you're a basketball coach.
Yes.
So you had to go through that whole course and everything. Which, I mean, to me, because when I was in high school, I was in the band. I played drums, so I wasn't an athlete. But, I guess I was, because for 3 years of high school, I ran cross country. But I still had to go through the concussion.
All that protocol and sign the paper.
And I had to go into the auditorium and watch the video, the presentation. But, I mean, basically, I get it. Because, if for some reason someone got a concussion, they couldn't, sue the school or something. But, I thought it was kind of funny because like I ran cross country.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I'm gonna trip and fall. And
yeah,
get
which is possible, but like,
yeah, come on. Don't you shouldn't be running.
it was kind of
cross
like
country.
funny at the time because I was like, this, you know. Anyway, so
That's-
I had to attend that, but you kind of probably have to do extra, right?
Well, yeah, we had a conference. One of our conferences made every team in the conference take this certain course or whatever, and basically it was just saying like, trying to hammer home how common it is and how important it is to like not push a player to play. It's babying people, but at the same time, like, yeah, you can't make someone play who might have a concussion because it could kill them.
Yeah, but you would if it meant winning the game.
I mean, if you have to win the game, no, of course not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some things where though it's like, it's just a fine line because sometimes you don't know if
Yeah.
like if you have no symptoms, then like go in the game, right? But it's like a headache is a symptom. It's like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I finished a workout through having a concussion and was fine. Yes, had I suffered another severe blow to the head, it might have been a different story or whatever. But
Yeah, you could have wound up with even more serious stuff.
oh yeah, I could have died.
Yeah,
I think
you could have died.
yeah. So but it is an interesting course or whatever. But like I feel like I knew enough about concussions to be like, generally speaking, like, hey, follow my finger. If they're like super lagging, you're like, okay, you're not going in the game. Or,
Right.
oh, we had a kid pass out actually.
From a concussion?
Dude, no, like,
Oh.
it's crazy. So at a practice, we're just out here running, and I'm like yelling at these kids, like why are you guys so slow? Like, what the heck? Like just going off because they were so slow, and like, and everything.
They were just running laps like around the gym.
We were doing like sprints, back pedals, closeouts, some things like that to work on conditioning while doing certain mechanics that you do in a game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's just it was just pissing me off, the lack of
How
effort.
old are these kids?
It's a varsity basketball team.
Varsity.
They're all upperclassmen.
High school?
17, 18.
Oh, okay. All right.
Some 16.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
It's
like
not-
these are like middle school, elementary school kids, like fifth graders. Like, why are you so slow?
No, they should be going faster.
Yeah.
But
All right, fair.
there's one guy who I guess doesn't take care of himself. Well, I don't know. He just didn't that day. He didn't eat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like I'm going to like, he's the kind of guy, he's not going to give up or anything, right? But he was like backpedaling, and all of a sudden he just goes, boom, just falls over. And I just see it, and I instantly just like, what the heck? And then the guy running beside him was just looking at me like, yo. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I like ran over to him. I was like, yo, like, don't be dead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what just happened,
Don't be dead.
but he woke up and he was so like,
Did he smack his head?
disoriented. Yeah, he hit his head on the way down.
Oh,
And he was so
God.
disoriented. And I was like, yo, just take it easy. Go sit down. And I was like, yo, you got like a headache? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you know where you are? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, hey, man, so
So what? He didn't eat good that day, or he didn't drink enough?
that's what he said.
Did he drink enough water?
Probably not. He was just like, yeah, man, I just didn't eat. I think I'm fine. And I was like, okay, well, don't come to practice tomorrow. Well, actually, I didn't tell him that. I told him I was like, look, take this practice off. Tell me how you feel tomorrow. Okay? Like, you hit your head when you fell. I know you don't remember that, but you did.
Did he miss practice?
And then the next day, he missed that practice. And then the next day, he was like, hey, man, he's like, my mom was like, not wanting me to come because.
Did you bench him?
And I was like, yeah, that's probably smart though. Like, no.
You didn't bench him?
Dude, no one, not like if you have a legitimate reason to not be there or you're like injured, that's never going to hurt your playtime or your chances.
Okay.
For me, you know what I mean?
All right.
Like I've had kids that like are in the starting lineup, and then they're like 4 or 5 days in advance. Hey, it doesn't have to be 4 or 5 days in advance, but this is just what they would do. They'd be like, hey, so I'm not going to be here. Like our family's going to be out of town. I can't, It's like, okay. You know what I mean? It's not like you're putting your family above this basketball team. Well, there's a lot of people on this team that would like, to have that start or whatever. It's like, nah. It's like,
See, like you say that, like, because I've dealt with coaches who are like that.
yeah.
They're like, oh, you missed practice, you're benched.
Yeah.
You missed practice, like you're benched for the first 5 minutes or something.
I mean,
or some coaches the whole game. They don't care.
Yeah. And in some situations, that's not even a bad. You just have to know.
It's not a bad, like, if a kid skips practice to go.
Especially if
he like plays hooky,
Yeah, if it's public high school where you have to be at like 3/4 of your classes, or like half the day, you have to be there half the day to even play, or something like that, or practice.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna like just run it, like no, you just don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would rather just not have you play than in and out, whatever you feel like is necessary. Like, you know what I mean? Like you legally have to be here. It's public school. Just be here. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I guess there's situations where that is different, but for us, it's more like if you just communicate with me, I understand you have things going on.
Yeah.
That are bigger than that.
Right. Yeah, that's So did he wind up having a concussion or no? The kid.
I think he did. I don't know. I mean, he didn't go get checked, and then after that,
he didn't go get checked.
He didn't go get checked, and then he had a headache the next day, but then the next day he was fine.
I don't know, man. Tough call.
Yeah, I mean,
Tough call if he...
and again, concussions affect everyone so differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And it's really a small percentage of people that get jacked up the way I got jacked up. Like, there's more than you think, because you can go around asking people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I understand what you're saying."
Right.
But it's from what I understand, a very small percentage of people who get concussions have a year of symptoms before it gets better. So,
actually, I'm gonna look up concussion effects.
oh God, death,
Yeah, that's in there.
memory loss.
All right, let's see. This is from Mayo Clinic.
Confusion. I've heard stories of people not knowing where they are. Like they get knocked out, wake up, not know where they are. Ugh.
That's rough, man. Let's see. Causes, risks, complications. Oh, here we go. So post-traumatic headaches.
Yes.
Post-traumatic vertigo. Some people experience a sense of spinning or dizziness for days or weeks or months after brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
Post-concussion syndrome, which is basically what you said you have.
15 to 20% of people may have symptoms, including headaches, dizziness, and thinking difficulties that persist beyond 3 weeks. If these symptoms persist beyond 3 months, this becomes characterized as post-concussion syndrome. Yeah.
You got that, bro?
Bro, messed up is what that means. That means you're screwed.
Dude, you are on your way. You're on your way to CTE.
But one day they're going to have... Oh, don't say that. Jesus Louise.
Sorry, man. I don't want to say that.
I don't think that's what that is, though, because I think CTE is like you actually have multiple... It's multiple actual like brain injuries. Post-concussion syndrome is just you have one brain injury,
mm-hmm.
and then your brain just messes with you for like forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the reason I brought up CTE is because like we're talking about football players, and I think a lot of football players deal with CTE. So
yeah.
You say it because you can say stuff better than me.
Okay, we'll give it a go. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy.
Yeah, the second time sounded good.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there then.
All right, is the term, we're just going to say CTE, is a term used to describe brain degeneration likely caused by repeated head traumas. So that would be like repeated concussions.
Yeah, you keep getting
Yeah, CTE is diagnosis made only by autopsies. What? Oh, the diagnosis is made
They
only
only
by
know
autopsies.
you have it after you've killed yourself.
Yeah. By studying sections of the brain. CT is a very rare disorder that is not yet well understood. Oh, that's scary.
Well, that's true about concussions in general.
Yeah, that's true.
They
I
really,
think that's true about the brain.
yeah,
I don't really think we know how the brain works.
dude. There's no way. The neurologist I was talking to said, dude, he's like, we have no idea how concussions affect people because it's all different.
It's crazy, man. Because like,
Yeah,
the brain is such a like.
dude, it's everything.
It's so complicated.
Your brain is you. Like, depending on whether or not you believe in like souls and like a spectral version of yourself or whatever, the brain is you.
Yeah.
All of this, no, that's not you. I mean, you need everything or whatever, but like,
Yeah.
the main driving, like your brain kind of has autonomy outside of your own will.
Yeah.
Like that's your subconscious is a whole thing you have no control over, but yet it like forms dreams for you while you're unconscious.
That's what I was gonna bring up. I don't think anyone understands dreams yet.
Oh, dude.
How do you dream? It's like you're because like everyone has like dreams where they're like, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from?
Why was I there with those people doing that thing?
And it's sometimes the people you don't even know.
But it is.
It's just it's just random
Yeah, dude, that's
individuals.
That's something I heard though, and I guess I don't know if this is true, but what I heard was that in your dreams, you actually never have a face in your dreams that you've never actually seen in real life.
How does that even?
Because it's
That's crazy, man.
Because it's like your brain can't, like if your brain.
But it's
sees
not
it,
like we have like a photo memory.
No, but your subconscious brings it. But like.
Oh yeah.
And again, I don't know if that's true. But to be fair, like I can't think of like a human face. That like I can't just create a human face in my imagination.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
that feels real. That's not someone I know.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think we understand dreams because you don't. Like, you can't create it. You can't control it.
Well, that's something interesting too, is because then you have lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Where they say like, you get to a certain part in your cycle or whatever, you actually become aware that you're dreaming, and you're able to think of things, and you are able to create the narrative in your dream.
Yeah, but how long does that really last?
Yeah, like no.
Okay, anytime that has happened to me, where like.
Yeah, you like wake up immediately.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's like. I guess there's been times in my life where like I realized I was dreaming while I was dreaming, or realized I was asleep or something, or like I was in control, like I was running or something in my dream. Yeah. But it didn't last very long. You know, like, and how weird is that? It's like you might dream something what feels like 5 or 10 seconds, but it winds up being like 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or you're like in the heat, like dude, you've been like you're sweating, like this dream has gone on for so freaking long. You wake up and it's been like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, kill me. I just had my brain just lived a whole nother day in 30 minutes. Like I'm exhausted.
And like, how crazy is that? Because that's the thing. Our brain is just like Jello.
Yeah.
It's Jello. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that we have like brain surgery and things like that. Like I get it. Like, I mean, I know that we do know about the brain, but like,
yeah,
it's not, you can't.
And they know what parts.
Like you can make a prosthetic arm.
Yeah.
We can't make a brain yet. I mean, we're trying to AI, but that's a different podcast.
They might be close.
We're close to AI, but that's the thing. Kind of what you're saying. Like your brain is you. That's your personality.
Yeah.
Like weird. That's your conscience. Like that's your own private thinking. Like you can't even see without your brain.
No, and actually, there's a dude. I learned about this in psychology. this guy thought he was blind, and he couldn't see, and he practically effectively couldn't see. Went to the eye doctor. It was perfectly fine. They were so confused as to what was going on. Turns out this man had convinced himself he was blind, and his brain turned off his eyesight. But there was nothing wrong with his eyesight.
That's crazy. That's rare. That's got to be rare.
Yeah, well, that's like he had some kind of like mental disorder.
Yeah.
Too, you know. So like, yeah, but just the idea that that's possible.
Yeah.
Is like, it's stupid, and it's true. Where it's like, you can think yourself into like so many different scenarios, like, and you can think yourself into like feeling bad. There's something to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the whole placebo effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, there's a whole there's literally an entire scientific process based around giving people something fake, but they think it's real, so it works.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, and yeah, it's crazy. Well, that's the thing. Like, the brain is like,
it's too powerful.
It's way too powerful. It's like it's so complex, and like you were saying, it's like, you know, they get the neuro guys, like, they don't know. Yeah. Like, they do know, but like they don't.
Right.
Like I said, it's not like we're not creating.
And you can go very scientific and just be like, well, the amygdala does this, and hippocampus does this, and this and that, and this and that, and these parts do this, and this communicates to this part of the body. You can like break it down to what these things do, but at the end of the day, it all functions together in a way that you cannot really explain.
Yeah.
And it has the ability to do things beyond what like I feel like it should. But
yeah, when like that's the thing, you can always think down something into no explanation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like always. It's like, well, like you said, like, well, the nervous system, these nerves connect here, which connect to your arm, and like when your brain tells your fingers to move, then they can move. It's like, yeah, but how does it do that?
Yeah.
And then you can go deeper and be like, well, this connects to this connects to this. Yeah, but how does that? Where does that come from? And they're like, eventually.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, but tell me why.
Happens.
But tell me why if I stop my heart, I can't do any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess there's probably a reason.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. It's like
it needs blood or.
But see, here's the thing: you can think. See, that's another good point. You can think yourself into something so much that your blood pressure goes up and your heart rate goes up.
Yeah.
You can control your thoughts and breathing and to slow your heart rate down or to speed it up. But like,
yeah, dude, most people have so much anxiety, I think, because they don't understand how their brain affects them.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe I'm way off base because I know there's a whole, struggling with anxiety is like a whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of that. Like, I don't want to speak for anybody. But I just know from my own, experience with the feeling of anxiety, a lot of times it's like if I'm just able to like realize that what my brain is telling me is all false, I'm good. But you got to realize
isn't that crazy
that lies, dude.
Isn't that crazy that you can think outside of your own brain?
Dude, it's the stupidest thing. It shouldn't. Why does that have to be like that? It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, why can't we all just think straight?
Dude, I have to usurp my own brain.
Yeah. Well, that's like having a conversation with yourself.
My brain, dude. Yeah, it's weird. But it's like,
are we having a conversation with you or your brain?
Do you know that scene in like
well, like, what is you without your brain?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's a whole nother conversation too, where it's like connecting consciousness with your brain. It's like you can't explain consciousness. Like science, like pretty much can't.
Yeah.
Again, like to a certain point, it's like you can answer it, but at the end of the day, it's like, what is consciousness?
There's still like a leap you have to make. Yeah.
Yeah, because like we can create information. So like your brain is more than just information, because hard drives have information on them. We can create hard drives.
Yeah.
And like I said, we are creating AI and cars that have maps built into their information system, but it's not like a Tesla has like a personality.
Yeah.
Or like the Alexa dots or whatever. Like, yeah, you can talk to Alexa, but like you can't make Alexa feel bad.
Right.
It's just a piece of equipment. Like it's just a robot or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't make Alexa or Tesla feel bad, but you can make a human feel bad because of their conscience, and like it's totally different. It's a whole new like level down.
Yeah, like emotions.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? That's weird.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just like,
Oh yeah, no, what I was gonna say is, do you remember the scene in Lord of the Rings where it's like Wormtongue, Grima Wormtongue is talking like King Theoden?
mm-hmm.
He's like he tells him all, like he corrupts him. Saruman corrupts Theoden. Do you know what I'm talking about? Familiar?
I have to look it back up.
Okay.
I have to look at the characters because I honestly don't know all of their names.
Yeah, it's King of Rohan in, I guess, the Two Towers.
Okay, yeah. You mean like when what's his name is controlling him?
Yeah. And Wormtongue's like the one telling him like all these lies and stuff.
When he's like this.
Yeah. I feel like that's my brain, and I gotta be like Gandalf in the scene.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is,
Yeah, it's like right there's a great one.
All right,
He's
here we
like,
go.
that guy whispering in your ear. That's like what your brain does on default.
Okay.
Your brain is Grima Wormtongue on default.
But the like, you can come outside of that and be.
Yeah, you can realize that's what's happening and be like, okay.
Cause isn't that weird that you can think third person?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, to
I
wrap
just
it
can't wait until
to wrap it all back around. Wait until what?
The Tesla guy believes that reveals that we're all in the Matrix.
I mean, that's when we've had that conversation before, where we feel like we're in this one big game of Sims. For people who don't know what Sims is, Sims is like basically a video game where like you create a life.
Yeah.
you basically you can create a life and create people to be within your life, and you build a home, and then like you're basically like people are just living in a community, and you're just kind of watching them. And so I don't think we're in like a matrix. Like I don't see how that makes.
Probably not.
I mean, like I'm all about like opening up to conspiracy theories, but like I don't know, that one's a little too much for me.
Well, it's just.
But he is serious about like the Neuralink thing.
Oh yeah, dude, that's gonna be.
Yeah, it's like this big. You can put it in your brain, and you can just like instantly feed information to yourself.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, that's gonna mess so many people up. Like,
apparently, you can get it taken back out just as easy as you put it in.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I could shoot you, and it's much easier to pull the bullet out. I guess it would be easier to pull a bullet out than like to put it through you manually.
What? Oh, you mean like?
Yeah. Like, of course you can take this shit out. Like,
I know, but like, another point I was gonna make earlier, as far as like the brain, and like the way it is, how like weird it is. You know, people's gotten shot like in the head.
Yeah.
And they just leave the bullet in there, and they live their life.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much fine.
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy? Like a brain, like your brain is able to like keep a bullet in the brain, and like you can still function fine. Like that should tell you that the brain is too complex to like.
Dude, it's its own thing, bro. Like your brain doesn't answer to you. That's what people need to understand, I think.
Yeah. What were you saying earlier? What were we talking about?
The Neuralink,
Oh, yeah,
how that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
mess people up because like no one knows enough about like that science. I don't think because like I said, I get a concussion, and they're like, hey, you just are the way you are. Now imagine trying to like tap into the neurological side of your stuff in your brain.
Right.
Like it's gonna like you know how they say concussions affect everyone differently.
Yeah.
Some people get these weird neurological problems for years after. Some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, putting a chip in that part of your brain that doesn't actually like really exist.
Right.
Like it does, but you know what I mean? Like that's gonna be the effect on people is gonna be so variant.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Some people
Very
are
good
gonna
point.
reject the crap out of that and their bodies are gonna wig out with it.
That could be crazy.
Some people might be like
It
super
might.
scary with it.
Yeah.
Like they might accept it and be like a legitimate cyborg.
Hmm.
But I can guarantee I'm not. I could almost guarantee that would mess me up.
How do you spell it? Neuro.
I think there's an E in it.
Neuralink.
Yeah, dude. Good old Elon.
That's it right there. That's all it takes.
Dude.
Small little hole. Drop that baby in there. Sew it up. That's it, man.
Heck no, dude.
That's it. Look. Boom. Neuralink. That's you. Right there.
Bro, you're not touching me with that. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, like he put it in pigs and the pigs were fine.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Well, all this to come around and say your brain is a very, very precious and a very complex thing. And my suggestion would be don't rattle it as much as possible.
Yeah, don't get hit in the head.
Don't get hit in the head as much as possible.
Yeah, that's also my recommendation. But if you do,
It's a little late for you.
yeah, know a good physical therapist.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, like, there's, we're talking about like kids coming up and playing sports and stuff. It's like, I mean, I will definitely want my kid, when I have one, to, succeed and do well. And like, if he wants to play football or something, like, that's fine.
Well, if he wants to do well, I have a. What he needs to do is just play women's sports.
We're not getting into that.
And just take the cake.
We're not getting into that.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say if he wants to do well, as soon as he earns a couple dollars, start investing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, like, if my kid is just like super into football and everything, like he has to play. Like, obviously, I'm going to let him play, but it's going to freak me out, man.
Dude, yeah.
It's going to freak me out. I mean, really, because like I said, I mean, like, what if my kid's not that big? Or what if my kid is big and he's giving other kids concussions?
That is the better side to be on, I would imagine.
I'm just saying, like, it's going to be tough. But anyway, I mean, I just feel it's just tough right now. I understand that technology and everything is getting better, like what we just looked up, but like
Neuralink, man.
like I said, like as far as like even playing basketball, like obviously you got a concussion playing basketball. You played basketball for like 20 years and never got a concussion.
One time, man.
And then just boom, that one time.
One moment for the rest of your life. People always say that. Like, one moment for the rest of your life. But
just think.
But it's always in a good connotation.
You could have been like 2 inches either closer to this person or further away from this person, and it would have been.
Yeah, or you could have just not been an idiot. And what, dude, okay, let me tell you. If it wasn't for that and what happened to my back, like, honestly, I would not know what my life would be like right now. Like, legit. Because that's such a big lifestyle change. Like, I spent a whole semester and like a half not doing anything because I had to go back to my room and turn the lights off. Like at school.
That's
Not playing basketball, not working out.
that's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy.
Go sit in a dark room by yourself.
It's what you're supposed to
alone in college.
do. Yeah, no kidding. Dude, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Crazy time in your life, man. Crazy time.
Yeah. And then everyone wonders, like, everyone's like, oh, why are you like this? Why is your, it's like, dude, what do you,
What do you think?
what do you don't know. Yeah. You don't know. But that, and then, like, working out, like, you know, when you're working out constantly every other day at least, your life is like different, man. Like you think different, you feel different, you take different risks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You do different things. So
and then when you just like stop all that.
Yeah. Dude. Dude, coming off of basketball out of high school, like depression, right? Like you get like the mild, like depends on how you handle it. But there's definitely like that dip in like your self-worth and everything that you're like evaluating, like who the heck am I, you know?
Yeah.
Then you figure it out. Then you get a concussion.
And then you're way back down to square one.
Every time I went into physical therapy, again for like almost a year, they were like, you had like increased like depressing thoughts, like, you know what I mean, it's also suicide and all this stuff. And I would always be like, no, the same amount of suicidal thoughts have occurred. You know what I mean? Just like joking myself.
Oh yeah.
You know, because they're like, have you had any more? Like,
so they like had to ask you that every time.
Yeah, or at least they did because they wanted to. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, and I mean, I'm sure that's
Yeah, dude. It's
I mean, not saying from you, but
dude, it's 100% a thing because you're
like depression from a concussion.
Dude, that not only is it like mess with your emotions and stuff, but like your lifestyle change. It's just so dramatic.
How can a concussion cause depression? There's more than one way for concussion to result in depression. The most common way, especially for people who haven't previously experienced depression, is overactivation and behavioral inhibition. Whoa. Inhibition. Is that how you say that?
Dude.
Anyway, system. It says we'll explain that in a moment. All right.
It's like inhibits, but it's the whatever
inhibition. I've never seen that before.
Inhibition.
That said, it can sometimes stem other issues or hormones, sleep disturbances. I mean, that makes sense. Cautious, indecisive, fearful, anxious. All right. I mean, yeah, I can see that coming from a concussion because, like,
yeah, dude,
you're scared to do anything. But yeah, no, depression from a concussion.
Yeah, dude, it's a thing.
So
it's like, not to mention, I was low key getting yoked. More so the second time than the first. I have photo evidence if you're curious.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. Dude,
actually, yeah, send those to me, please.
Yeah, dude, low key, man. It's you have to really just accept a different form of life, and that's not even like to be weird, but it's like.
Oh, man, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, I've talked to some people like they had like a soccer career ahead of them, college career, and all this stuff. Senior year, they tear their ACL, and it's like, boom,
Yeah, you're done.
It's all done. I mean, you're just done. I mean, that's it. So. Anyway, but well, we are glad to see that you are a whole lot better now than what you were, as far as your head.
Is this really only the third episode?
Yeah.
It's not the fourth?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is the third.
Okay.
But well, we've kind of stretched it out so long because our schedules keep
Yeah,
not
sure.
lining up, which we are working on. We're trying to make it better. We're trying to get them pretty much. Honestly, we can't even guarantee a time frame. Like once a week, nah, twice a week, maybe, or not twice a week. Every 2 weeks, maybe. We just kind of whenever we get the time, that's when we, post it. I can't commit. We can't commit to a certain like this time every other week or this time every month or whatever. It's like no, we're squeezing it in when we can. But this is a good time, man. I've learned a lot in this past few minutes. So like,
yeah, it was good.
It was awesome.
I feel like I got some stuff off my chest.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome. So anyway, again, this is Theoretically. I'm Stuart Wilkins. This is Peyton Hutchins. Please feel free to comment on any kind of subject or anything you might want to hear. I don't know. We are wanting to kind of expand maybe a little bit more. Maybe have on some guests and such in the future. So
speakers.
It's gonna get a pretty interesting, I think, coming up. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all you do. And again, this is Theoretically. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.